Hi there, it's Sandra from Creating Spain. Today isn't anything in particular, I am just using up scraps. Bits that I've got in duplicate, bits that I have no idea what I'm doing with, bits that have been tests, bits that I've just got left over. So, I've got this card which was part of a full card, but I didn't like what was going on the other side of it, so I cut it in half, got rid of the junk, and I've cut it down so that it's a card base, or at least a card panel, I should say, not a base. And I was looking at things and thinking, what have I got to go on it? A stitched circle die. So, a bit of glue on the back of this. It's unusual for me to do any die cuts like this, and it's been in, well, I say I cut it out the other day. I must have cut it out a while ago because I don't remember cutting it out. And I don't think my memory's quite that bad. And I just got a box where I put bits which are left over, and it's ended up in there. So one of the other things that I found in my stash was print and cut that I did recently, and it happens to be almost the same colour as that blue, so that works out really well. It's Christmas themed. I think I was testing out my printer, trying to get my printer to work properly. I've just changed my printer, but the old one wasn't working that well. That can go on there. I was using some new dies yesterday or the day before, and this is a leftover from that. Now, because it happens to be very fine, it's not the easiest of things to put glue on. You either want something with a very fine tip like this, or the other alternative is to put a splodge of glue down and to get one of these flat sponges and sponge it over like that. That way you'll get glue on the back and hopefully you won't get any on the front. Do it on an area of your mat that you're not working on directly though. And that can go on there, like that. I have a snowflake, which I think is rather pretty. Again, it was one of these die cuts that was left over from something else. I think I'm going to use the same technique because it's not going to be easy to glue that otherwise. You can also use a spray glue if you've got any, but if you don't, then that's an easy way around it. I've got a card base, a white one, and so that can go on there. I've been having fun this morning. My husband bought an air dryer. Don't ask me the brand of it because I can't remember. It's some Italian sounding brand. I'll leave the link down below in case anyone's interested. I was making air fried donuts today. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'm used to making them in the oven because I generally don't deep fry things. And I thought, I'll see if I can actually make them in the air fryer. And to be honest, I wasn't altogether sure it was going to work, but I thought, well, try it and see. And boy, did it work. I had the lightest, fluffiest donuts ever. And what I really liked is, you know where the skin on a donut can sometimes get a little bit too crisp? This was really soft, and it had the same mouthfeel as a shop bought donut. Now, I made whole donuts without the round in the middle. And I made a lemon glaze to dunk them in because I didn't have any of my raspberry jam sauce to put inside. Normally I inject it with raspberry jam. There we go. So that is pretty much done. Just a quick sentiment on there and another card gets the dust. I had this piece of card which really wasn't card sized, but I thought, why not? It's big enough for a note card pretty much. And I got this sentiment which I die cut from a rather pretty purpley sort of foiled card. And I just thought it's so pretty. That foil card on its own is so pretty. I thought I just got to use that. So let's see if I can get enough glue on here to stick it down without getting the glue where I don't want it. And if I'd have been considering it at the time, I'd have probably cut it with double-sided tape on it. I didn't even think about it. Note to self, use double-sided tape on it in future because it'll save you the hassle of doing all this. If you're interested in the die cut, I will leave a link below. I don't know where this colours come from. I don't think it came off of my mat. At least it shouldn't have come off of the mat, but I don't know where else it would have come off from. So, I'm going to put some colour down here. A very fine brush. And there we go. And you'd never know that I hadn't put those marks on there on purpose. Take some of that blue water with the pink, just to vary the colour slightly. Turn it up in that way. Alright, now because I've got a splodge there that I did by accident, I'm going to have to do another splodge somewhere else and another splodge there, just to make it look like it was done on purpose. Quite often I have little trimmings from the card when I've cut things down. It's not a bad idea to keep them if you've got room to stash them. And then I should be able to stamp it like so. I just realised that the paper I had that was trimmed was photographic and this is water-based ink and therefore it was going to smudge. There we go, that's better. And there we go, sentiment applied. Sometimes using a different colour scheme to what would normally be expected has rather nice results. Now this is, I think, pear tart. Yeah, it's a nice citrusy green and I'm just putting some colour around the outside edge of this card. I'm allowing it to go inside the edges as well. I just want this sort of vague colour look to it. Not necessarily straight lines. There we go. And I'm going to put it onto a portrait style card base. I like to line it up with folded edge. If I really make a mistake when I'm putting this together, I can trim the other edges. That edge you can't trim, so if you line it up with that one to start with, you're into a winning streak. I have this piece of paper, well it's actually embroidery backing that I created in this mix of colours. I just think it's a fun colour mix. And I'm just trying to see which side has got the shimmer on it, which is the opposite side to that. And put some glue on here. I'm just going to play until I get the kind of result I like. Actually, I quite like that. It's not symmetrical. It's surprising what you can use if you just play with it. Oops. That tree, I've got that. I think that one works better. Let's step down. Even if you've actually finished your Christmas cards for the year, If you've got bits and pieces left over, make up cards now, because it will give you a head start on next year. And the chances are, if you leave it till next year, you'll just throw out your bits and pieces and you won't use them. Obvious dollop of glue on the back of that. There we go. And this time, to make it a little bit different, I am going to cut it like that instead. So here's my finished cards. I've put some little metallic and sparkly pen embellishments on the circle on that one. This one I have left as is because I think it's got plenty of sparkle on its own. And this one here, again, I added a few little sparkly drops. I tend to prefer using a metallic or a sparkle pen rather than things like Nuvo drops, because they dry, they don't stick to anything, and I can stick the card in the post as soon as I want to. So that's it, 3 cards made out of leftover bits, not ones that I've designed purposely. Hope you find that helpful, and I will see you again soon. Take care now.